You're watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Gohan from Dragon Ball Z. You want to see me turn Super Saiyan? Or should I take it to the next level? I'm also the narrator, too. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, make sure and smash subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
With the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc now having to come to an end and a brand new Dragon Ball Super arc looming over the horizon, the possibilities now are seemingly endless at the overall idea of what this next story might be, and with all things considered in the idea that Goku and Vegeta are just about to have their final battle against Moro in Dragon Ball Super Manga chapter number 66, the question going forward that many fans seem to have within the community is what exactly are they going to do going forward, and can the next arc actually have the potential to be one of the best arcs within Dragon Ball Super having to be told thus far, which also happens to include the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc. And one of the ideas that could set itself in is the idea of once again reintroducing and finally concluding the story of Frieza. And a quick little reminder before we begin, if you guys are new to this channel and have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball and anime related, then I do encourage you guys to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply stoked, ready, and excited to see what this next arc is going to be about, because as of right now, I think we can all come to a universal agreement to say that Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku is, outside of the Angels, the strongest living character in Dragon Ball Super thus far. And the testament to Goku's strength is seeing how even prior to Moro having to copy Merus' abilities, Moro wasn't even able to land a single hit on Goku, and even when he did, he ended up breaking his entire arm as an end result of even trying to impale Goku's body. But later on, we also got to see how for the first time, we were introduced to the first ever low-tiered angel enemy in Dragon Ball Super, and with Moro having to follow up by copying Merus' abilities, even after delivering successful shots on Goku and having to then go toe-to-toe with him, the end result was simply Goku having to stand back up and brush himself off. But wait a minute, what could Frieza possibly do, right? Well, the answer to that is absolutely nothing. As of this current point, there is nothing that Frieza could do that could even hold a candle to Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. But just like the thumbnail implies, what if the outcome and the overall circumstance of Frieza coming back is a little different this time, and that runoff narrative could be Frieza's final engagement with Goku and Vegeta following the events of the climatic battle between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. Towards the end of Dragon Ball Super Broly, we know that Frieza intends to come back, but this time, he wants to come back a little smarter. He knows that he really can't do anything on his own to hold a candle to Goku and Vegeta, and he's looking to give Broly quite some time until he's able to figure his power out. But what if there's a circumstance where Frieza actually approaches or is approached by someone like Whis and having to give an offering to receive training? Now, this is what's interesting about Frieza. When going back to Resurrection F, we saw how Goku and Vegeta have been training for many years to get to where they were at, only for Frieza to come back in doing 4 months of training to literally become blue level and then getting Blue Goku versus Golden Frieza. And then even following the events of the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power arc, Frieza had been in hell for assumingly many years and having to focus and do mental training, and even after he had come back, he was still proven to be a lot stronger than how he was during the events of Resurrection F. And we know that Whis isn't someone to take bias because Goku and Vegeta are currently his students, but what if there was an offering made, an offering of food substance of course, that allows Whis to take Frieza under his wing for the sole purpose of seeing what his students can do against someone like Frieza. So this is the runoff narrative. The idea could be, since Frieza had already seen the powers of Ultra Instinct, since Frieza was there to see the outcome of fusion during the Tournament of Power with Kefla, and then even meeting Gogeta as he engaged against Broly, Frieza, if anything, was there to see every single level, to see every single transformation, to see every single fusion, and now getting an idea of what Ultra Instinct is. The question would be, why would Whis even want to agree in taking Frieza under his wing? Well, that could prove to be a testament in having to see how far his students Goku and Vegeta could go by having to train Frieza for the time being if Frieza were to offer Whis some food, which we have seen be done and work before with Goku having to offer Whis all types of delicacies, as did Vegeta, and Whis agreed. So if the next arc is going to be with Frieza, I do genuinely think that Frieza should make an offering to Whis in gaining a bit more knowledge on Ultra Instinct, in having to gain a better understanding of who he is as a person, to get stronger himself, and the sole motive could be for revenge. Frieza wants to kill Goku and Vegeta, and this could prove to be a good runoff narrative in the fact that Whis could actually think about this and say, well, this would be a great way to see how far my students can actually go against someone like Frieza, considering their history and considering all odds, with Frieza having the potential to get even stronger than how he is. So, at some point in Dragon Ball Super, you need to conclude Frieza's story for good, and that means on whether or not they stick with the narrative and having Frieza stay away for good, which we already know he's not, or you can have him have a final confrontation, a final battle with Goku and Vegeta on Earth, or at some other random location somewhere within the universe, and basically having to dictate the outcome of the story going forward. But with Frieza having to come back, there is no way that he would be able to stand up to arguably Vegeta now post Yardrat training, and especially mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. So how is Frieza going to get ahead? Is he going to find a partner of his choosing to help him, assist him in getting his revenge on Goku and Vegeta? More than likely that could happen, but the overall end result of Frieza being successful while wielding his golden form is pretty much slim to none. But if we go back to the beginning of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, Vegeta basically established to Goku that he wanted to finish Frieza off because there is still that potential that Frieza could end up coming back yet again, and this time he could also do what he did before and get stronger in discovering a new form. And even with Goku having to acknowledge this, Goku is very nonchalant about this, just as he was when he gave Moro the Senzu Bean in thinking that Moro can change. Goku's naivety could result in something big happening involving Goku and Vegeta, and more importantly, Frieza going forward, because Frieza even acknowledged to Goku that his biggest flaw and his biggest weakness is of course his naivety. But even then, the next arc could be structured around Frieza wanting to get revenge, but instead of blatantly just jumping in as he did during the events of Resurrection F, instead we can have Frieza actually create a massive army that he ends up sending out first, because he wants to learn more. He wants to see if he can approach this battle in a different position, in a different way versus how he did during the events of ROF, which would make Frieza that much more cunning and that much more intelligent of a fighter versus what he did in ROF, where when he discovered a brand new transformation, instead of, as Goku had pointed out, learned to control and master this form, he just came to Earth right off the gate in thinking that he could just body Goku and Vegeta without even knowing the fact that they also had forms that could rival his golden power. So we know that Frieza is in the shadows, and we know that based off of what we've seen during the events of Dragon Ball Super Broly, Frieza wants everybody dead. And what I mean by everybody is Goku, Vegeta, Broly. During the Tournament of Power, he vowed that he wanted to make the Omni Kings bow to him, and he wants to be the absolute pinnacle of power within not just Universe 7, but the entire multiverse as well, if you want to take his Tournament of Power statements as actual proof that he wants to destroy and have everyone bow to him. So I think that going forward, Frieza needs to do some type of advanced training, even if it means doing it in secret by Whis, in order for Whis, because the narrative could be that Whis simply wants to see how far his students Goku and Vegeta could go if they were to be put up with Frieza, who also received the same type or same level of training. If of course Frieza comes to Whis in having to offer him food or sort of offer his services for a small amount of training. So it's not outside the realm of possibility, only because Whis doesn't seem to have a bias, hence why all the angels are essentially neutral outside of rookies such as Merus, who did have a bias in wanting to join the Galactic Patrol and wanted to fight for the sake of good. But if you really stop and think about the overall level of growth that Frieza would have, even if he were to receive a small amount of training for Whis, can you imagine the overall idea of finally introducing for the first time two legitimate Ultra Instinct caliber wielders having having to battle against one another and having Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus perhaps Mastered Ultra Instinct Frieza. Remember, Ultra Instinct isn't really bound by a race, meaning Saiyans aren't the only ones that could learn this, nor could angels or any other being, because Ultra Instinct is adaptable to any being and any race of creatures. So it would be beneficial and it would be awesome to see one more final battle involving Frieza and the Saiyans. Perhaps maybe they could give us some type of fan service to where it's Frieza versus Gogeta, Frieza versus Vegeta, Frieza versus both Vegeta and Goku, minus if Goku is unable to fully go and master Ultra Instinct during the time being, but instead we get an upgraded Golden Frieza versus UI Omen Goku, or maybe even a brand new level of Frieza, a new form of Frieza versus Omen Goku, perhaps even maybe Omen Frieza versus Omen Goku. The possibilities are endless, but there needs to be a conclusive story surrounding Frieza and the Saiyans, because we know that Frieza is not done, and you're going to have to give him one more run, one final battle against them, but you can't just throw in Frieza now and expect for Frieza to do something, because at this point, Frieza would meet his end before he even has the opportunity to do any sort of damage against Goku or Vegeta. So if not by Goku himself, then you could easily have someone like Vegeta now effortlessly eviscerate Frieza, considering the overwhelming growth that he had during the events of Vegeta training on planet Yardrat. But for Frieza to even come close in genuinely having a chance, I do believe that Frieza needs to use his intelligence and the resources of his army, and even if he's somehow able to recruit somebody else and have other soldiers and other beings do his bidding, while of course he still tries to prepare and finalize his plans of taking out the Saiyans, then they should do that. And very similar to what they've done with Moro, they could easily include another Sagambo-like character, another 7-3-like character, just to aid Frieza's army per se against Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, the androids, Piccolo, and even Jaco and the rest of the Galactic Patrol. But even then, the climax of the story needs to involve Frieza having payback, or at least getting closure against the Saiyans. But again, this goes back to the overall narrative of keeping him alive or letting him die. And if we're under the geyser that Goku's gonna defeat Moro, then the only other person that I can think of that needs to desperately be the one to destroy Frieza once and for all would be Vegeta. And this goes back to ROF when Vegeta had Frieza right where he wanted him, and just for Goku to come in and have Whis reverse time and for him to capitalize in getting that victory over him, we've already seen Goku kill Frieza, so why not have the arc end if they were to do a story involving Frieza coming back, with Vegeta being the one to get the W and get the victory over Frieza by having to once and for all put him out of his misery. But I don't think that this should predicate itself in having it be as simplistic as we think it is. I think that Frieza should go about having to do sinister and dirty things to get Goku and Vegeta's attention. He doesn't necessarily have to rely on his army, but instead he can rely on his resources, and for only Goku and Vegeta to find out that someone like Frieza actually received training from Whis, would that only be put into question to say, hey, why would you want to train this guy when you know he's the opposition? And for Whis' response to be, hey, you're my students, he's an exceptionally powerful person with latent potential, I want to see what my students can do against a person like Frieza who now has proper training. And I know it's crazy to accept the fact of anyone else outside of Goku actually wielding and using Ultra Instinct, but we've seen Moro 7-3/Merus Absorbed actually use it momentarily, so it's really not outside the realm of possibility for someone like Frieza to study this, to hone this. And even though it's going to be very difficult for someone like Frieza to use Ultra Instinct, only because you're going to have to clear your mind and have this very calm state of consciousness, but if somehow Frieza could be able to do that, clear his mind, be able to hone this power and learn more about what it is, then seeing Ultra Instinct Frieza versus Ultra Instinct Goku would be absolutely insane. Because remember, Ultra Instinct really isn't bound by any race or any specific character to actually have this power, so essentially enough, anyone could achieve Ultra Instinct if they train hard enough and they learn more about it. So going forward, the next arc in Dragon Ball Super has to introduce the elements of desperation, the elements of tension, and even though Goku now is seemingly indestructible, I think that to predicate that and to get the best of Goku, you're going to have to trick him, you're going to have to lie to him, you're going to have to somehow get him to drop his guard, and you're going to have to get get him to enter a very naive state of mind for him to actually believe whatever Frieza is saying, because isn't it interesting how Goku tried to let Frieza go several times because he knows that Frieza would be able to push him if he were to get stronger, because Goku knows that Frieza can get stronger, otherwise he wouldn't have let him go to begin with. He let him go during the events of ROF, or at least he tried to before Frieza turned the tables on him. They let him go during the events of the Tournament of Power, they let him go during the events of having to fuse into Gogeta, and then willingly letting him go. So Frieza is kept here for a purpose and a specific reason. Whatever this reason may be, it's not outside the realm of possibility to see Frieza be reintroduced, but this time, if he were to come back and pose a threat in the next arc, then we have to consider the idea that right now Goku is able to tap into Ultra Instinct at will, and even considerably mastered UI as well, so what can Frieza do to even come close to rivaling that if he doesn't already have a plan? Which is why I do think that Frieza could be involved in becoming the next enemy, because there is no rooted evidence to suggest that Frieza is going to change. There is no rooted evidence to suggest that Frieza had a change of heart, but in fact, he's growing an army, he wants to get his revenge, but the question is, at what point is he going to find his way to strike, and when he does, will it have as much of an effect, especially now that Goku has mastered Ultra Instinct? So in the comment section below, I want to get your thoughts on 3 specific things, with that being number 1, if Frieza were to be reintroduced as the next villain in Dragon Ball Super, then do you guys believe that Frieza should perhaps have a brand new form? Should he perhaps even ask Whis for training in better understanding the process of Ultra Instinct, or at least trying to get close to that power? Number 2, what do you guys think the next arc is going to be? And lastly, number 3, do you guys think that Frieza should have one more run in Dragon Ball Super, or should he be left out to do his own thing within the depths of space with his army? So again, thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for your time. If of course you guys are new to the channel, then I do encourage you guys to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single update video on this channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody, and take care. Peace. And a quick little reminder before you guys go, if you guys are unaware, I do have a second gaming channel located down in the description box below, so be sure to head on over to Unreal Royale and hit that subscribe button along with turning on all notifications, as to there, you guys will find all different kinds of gaming content that you will not get to find on UnrealEntGaming, titles and video games such as Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Legends, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Minecraft, Blair Witch, and many other retro games on that channel. So if you guys are into gaming, then make sure you guys subscribe over on Unreal Royale. I want to thank you all so much for your time, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
This is the Galactic Emperor of the Universe, and of course I'm here to tell you to subscribe to UnrealEntGaming.
Also follow UnrealEntGaming on these social media platforms to stay connected at all times. And if you don't, then very soon you will all be dead! Oh, did someone say UnrealEntGaming? Oh my god.
The fuck, Zarbon? Put on some clothes!
Well, why don't you put on any clothes?
What? I don't need clothes. Jesus Christ, that's huge! What, Broly?
Frieza.
Uh-oh.
Prepare to die!
But once you get video, lots of likes, or Bill will turn you into chocolate! Vados, get over here! Tell these mortals that I'm the biggest UnrealEntGaming fan. This is my moment. I'm a part of his notification squad. Universe 7 can have all the fun. I just want the food.
And don't forget to leave a comment on this video. Show some love for the best community on YouTube.
Kakarot!